I think it's very important to understand what that I means. We very often relate ourselves to this body-mind conglomerate. Swami always used to say, you are not one but three. The one you think you are, the body. We think we are this body with all its functionalities, the five senses of perception, the five senses of action, the five tanmatras, which is the inner, which is the experience of the five senses of perception with the internal instruments, and the five gross elements, which is tanmatras is shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. The five elements are earth, water, fire, air, and ether. We usually consider that this body, which is made up of these 20, is what we truly are. The one you think you are, the body. And then the one others think you are, the mind. We think, others think, and we also relate to that we are the mind. Now, what is the mind? The mind actually is a combination of four functions. They are called antahkaranas, the inner instruments. These are bahya karanas, the external instruments, the 20 that I mentioned. The antarkaranas are the four. What is that? Manas, which is the mind. Buddhi, which is the intellect or the discriminative or the discerning faculty. Chitta, which is the subconscious mind. And ahankara, which is ego or sense of body identification. The external world considers us to be these four because they associate us with what is going on here. And then the one you really are is the soul or divinity within. Now, if we analyze these three, at the outermost level, we have the concept of the five sheaths, the pancha koshas, annamaya, pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, anandamaya kosha. Kosha means sheaths, coverings. So the outermost is annamaya kosha, the food sheath. This entire body is made of the food sheath. We are what we eat, and that's why the emphasis on vegetarianism, because what we eat from the plant kingdom is what will be more sattvic or noble. When we kill a life and consume that, the violence and negativity of that is what becomes of this form. So the annamaya kosha is the external food sheath. Then pranamaya kosha, the breath sheath. The breath that we take is what the life principle is. The five types of breath: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. The one in breathing, the one out breathing, the one which helps in digestion, the one which is all over the body, and the one on which the soul exits. These are the five kind of life breaths. Then manomaya or the mind sheath. Then vijnanamaya, the intellect sheath. And the anandamaya, which is the bliss sheath, the one where the bliss is experienced because of all the external interactions of the body and mind. But what is it that powers all these sheaths? What is the electric current that makes all these inert elements powered? That is the soul, which we really are. And that is the soul which is encased in all these five sheaths. That is the soul which is the electric current which powers all these five sheaths and enables them to function. The fundamental mistake we make is to identify ourselves with all these external sheaths and forget the fact that these sheaths are inert. They have no value of its own. If they had value, why would a dead man who has all these instruments not function at all? Because the soul has left the body, and hence the dead man, despite having all these instruments, is unable to function. It is the soul which gives the life force to enable all these five sheaths to function and this human body mind complex to operate. And that soul is what we truly are. And as Advaita Vedanta says, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. There is no difference between that individual soul and the supreme soul. That alone is the truth. All these external things are false. False means relatively unreal. The wording for that in Vedanta is Sad asadbhyam anirvachaniyam. It is truth but relative. It is untruth in absolute terms, and it is inexplicable because we are considering ourselves to be relative when we are actually absolute. And hence this sense of Maya or ignorance comes in. And it is this Maya or ignorance that prevents us from realizing that we are verily divinity. And that is why the entire effort of Swami was to continuously enable us to realize that we are not body, we are not mind, we are the soul. And that soul is not different from the Supreme Soul. Vedanta says that you are verily the waves of the ocean. While the waves are millions and billions, the ocean is one. We are all millions and billions of individual souls, but those are actually waves in the ocean of divinity. And hence the supreme divine principle, which is Sat Chit Ananda, being, awareness and bliss, which is Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam, truth, wisdom and infinity. We truly are a speck of these supreme principles of divinity. And that is why Swami would say, bulbs are many, but the current lighting all of them is one. The bodies here are 8 billion, but there is one current, the current of the soul, that lights up all these bodies. And that is the divine current. That is what we are, and hence we are not different from him. This is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says, Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. It is a part of my eternal being which is present in all creation. That is what we are as the soul, which is a part of that eternal being. And the Narayan Suktam describes that this is present as the blue shining light between the 9th and 12th vertebrae. And it is that blue shining light which is what we truly are. And it is that light which shines up all these inert elements which we consider truly as reality. The problem is our approach to life is very external focused. The whole objective of spirituality is to change this 180 degrees and enable us to look within so that we can identify our true identity, which is the soul, which is one with him.